We are throwing it back to 2021. I'm Rod from DBZSHFIGS.com, and today I'm bringing to you a ranking and review of the figures that came out in the Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts line in 2021. So, if you don't know what this series is, basically I'm doing a retrospective on yearly releases for the line since I was not a content creator back in the day. So this is just kind of to get like my general opinions on the figures and on the line. I've done one for 2022 as well as 2023 that are out now. So if you like this video, make sure to check those out. Anyways, check out my website, DBZSHFIGS.com, where you'll find a complete archive of every single release in the line. We recently launched a Discord server where we're just having people come in, talk about Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts, talk about news, share their figure photography. If that interests you, there's a link in the description. But anyways, let's get started. So, 22 releases in the year of 2021. And the worst, and by that, I don't mean it's a terrible figure. It's just the lowest ranking figure, in my opinion, is Android 18 from the Tournament of Power from Dragon Ball Super. This figure was released for $62, which is quite a bit of money considering what you expect from the figure. So the worst thing about it, I think, is just that it's such a simple action figure. If you look at her outfit, is literally just a maroon pink tracksuit. You do get a nice little effect piece, but it's basically just a little sphere of plastic. You get a good variety of hands with the figure and an extra head there, but honestly, not a whole lot for that kind of price point. So that's why it ranks at number 22. At number 21, we have the Super Saiyan Clone Goku. Now this one, not expensive, $40, just $5 more than your general release. But as you can see on what it includes, it is basically just a general release, a different color scheme of like a Super Saiyan Goku. The reason I rank it so low, it's because honestly, I just don't really care about it. I never played the game that this is from, so I don't know anything about the character. It just seems like a basic Goku, just with a different color scheme. It doesn't really come with much, and just telling by the amount that it resells for, I would expect a little more for an exclusive. How just means that not a lot of people dig this figure. And honestly, I rarely see people owning this one. So I think that just speaks to the popularity of the figure. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's just not one I'm honestly ever interested in owning. So that's why I put it in 21. At number 20, we have probably the most underwhelming San Diego Comic-Con exclusive release ever. We have the Super Saiyan God Goku, $50 for this. And look at the clamshell there. That's basically a $35 retail release figure, which this has been actually. We have gotten a Super Saiyan God retail Goku for $35, and I'm pretty sure it includes basically the same things. What's the difference, you may ask? Oh, this one has like a translucent hair. That's it. So, again, not a terrible figure, but just why does it have a markup when it's just obviously a retail $35 figure? I don't know. At number 19, we have another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for that year, which is Wiz at $50. And I mean, what can I say about it? It's a cool design. However, due to the design, it's very impaired on the articulation. Like anything below the waist, you're not going to get much out of. So that's why it's kind of not really the best. Also, I mean, was it really needed to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? Not really. And then there's just not much going on with the figure, to be honest. I have seen a lot of people complain that the paint smudges a lot for some reason. So yeah, I don't know. Just probably not the best exclusive out there. At number 18, ironically, Android 17 from the Tournament of Power, Dragon Ball Super. So, I mean, kind of the same thing with Android 18. I don't really like the design as much as, the OG Android 17 from Dragon Ball Z. However, it's not the worst. It actually has some character to it. He has the blue jeans on and the green shirt. I do like it. This one, the reason it ranks higher is the same price as Android 18. However, this one actually includes two effect pieces, which, gives it a little more versatility when it comes to posing and the kind of different dynamic situations you can make with the figure. So that's why I kind of dig this one. At number 17, and this one might be a little controversial, it's not a figure, but it is a release in the line. It's the Goku eating set. I know that's not the official name, but I wouldn't even know how to pronounce the official name. So, but anyways, I just really like that they took a chance and released this really quirky, diorama set. Basically, that's what it is. And I think it really adds a lot to your Goku Saiyan on Earth if you have that one. It comes with an extra face that just displays Goku in his, comically eating aspect. Comes with extra hands that hold like chopsticks and forks, which is, I just think, amazing work from Tamashii Nations. It comes with all of these different food sets and the table and the chairs, and you could have Goku sitting there with like his family or his friends just enjoying a nice meal. I just think it's really funny. I hope they do more things like this going forward. You have to pick it up. It's just comically funny. At number 16, we have the Super Saiyan Goku, the full power version. So this was our first official retail Super Saiyan Goku at $35, the introductory price point. As you can see, same thing I was talking about with the Super Saiyan God. We have 4 extra sets of hands. We have 3 extra faceplates, and that's what should come with an introductory figure. So this one gets a higher ranking because it includes all that and is actually only $35. Not even to bring up the point that it's a really nice figure. Now, I will say with the introduction of the Games Begin Super Saiyan Goku that's coming up this year, this one, now that I look at it, it has its flaws and it has its faults. But, when it was released in 2021, it was a pretty nice figure. But it's kind of becoming the time to retire this one as your go-to Super Saiyan Goku. But, I really enjoyed it. At number 15, I have the Super Saiyan Goku Black Rosé. So this one, another introductory $35 figure. So this one, has basically one less pair of hands. However, this one does have a lot more detail to it. As you can see on the clothing, it has shading on it. I really like how the pink came out for the hair. It has more details on the faces and in the hands. As you can tell, he has earrings and rings, which adds to like the character. I just like the aesthetic of Goku Black. I think we could all agree it's a pretty cool character design. So for $35, most people can get their hands on it, which is always a plus. At number 14, I have Namek Bulma. So it's one of 2 female figures that were released this year, which I do appreciate. I don't think we get enough female figures released, in this line. It does come with a lot of accessories. You have a Dragon Ball, you have a hat, you have a backpack, anything that Bulma needs. Oh yeah, and the Dragon Radar. Amazing thing to include. She looks straight out of the anime, in my opinion. I'm very nostalgic to the Namek saga. However, it's hard to ignore that the female figures don't have the best articulation. It's just something that we have to deal with right now. But also, a lot of way cooler figures in 2021. Once I reach the top 10, you're going to see it's pretty hard to rank them. But at number 14, it's nothing she should be ashamed about because she's still a great figure. At number 13, unfortunately, the other female figure. At $65, we have Launch or Lunch, whatever you want to call her, the character that Akira Toriyama forgot existed. So I'm here to give her a little bit of love. Now, basically, the only reason I ranked her higher, it's because I really appreciate that they decided to give us both the different heads of Launch in one package. They could have been selfish about it and just released 2 different versions, but I'm really glad that they gave us both in one. She comes with a Dragon Ball. She comes with a gun, or an array of guns, actually, I guess. Just great figure. Again, not the best articulation with the female ones. That's why they rank a little lower. But this one, definitely, if you're a fan of the original Dragon Ball series, one you should pick up. Hey guys, I'm happy to announce that I will be starting an optional membership program to my channel. If you want to support the videos as well as the website, you will be receiving exclusive emoji and badges, as well as your name will be displayed at the end of every video. You will also get all my new videos early before anyone else. I will also be hosting an exclusive live stream with all the members once a month. Just want to say completely optional and up to you if you want to join. Link in the description. At number 12, at the $60 price point, I have the Silent Mercenary Hit. Now, I, like probably many of you, was really fascinated by this Hit character. I think he was very interesting. I think one of the best characters to come out of Dragon Ball Super. He just looks cool, honestly. I like the really like dark noir, aspect to him, purple and black. I like his powers. I like his representation here as a figure. Now, of course, he does have that little, quote unquote dress he's wearing. So it does hamper the articulation a little bit. Also, not really a lot going on with the figure in terms of accessories and stuff, but still one that you would probably like in your collection. At number 11, right before the top 10, Beerus, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, misses out. Honestly, the San Diego Comic-Cons were a little bit lackluster. I do like that they released Beerus because, he had gotten expensive up to that point on the resale market if you didn't own one already. And it's always nice to add a Beerus to your collection. Again, nothing really wrong with the figure. He has really nice articulation. It's just that at the $50 price point, you're expecting a little bit more than a retail figure, and you don't really get that much going with it. So for that reason, he's my number 11. And now we move over to the top 10, and it just gets harder to rank these. But at number 10, I felt that at the price point of $56, that was a perfect spot for Bardock, the father of Goku. Now, I'm a big fan of the Bardock character. I'm a big fan of the design. I think he's really cool. This one comes with a scouter. He comes with the different hands and the different faces, all displaying different types of anger. He comes with an effect piece that is very, synonymous with him when we see him going up against Frieza in his final act of heroism. I mean, basically top 10 just because I really love the character and I really love the way the character looks. At number 9, this one is Birder and Gildo from, the most expensive set to own in the Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts line. If you're trying to complete your Ginyu Force, then good luck with that one if you didn't get them for retail, because you're going to be spending quite a bit of money. Now, this one is pretty cool because for whatever reason, they decided to put both of these characters together. They didn't have to. Maybe at that point, they were a little bit hesitant on releasing smaller figures like Gildo. Now that they've done the Daimo ones, I think nowadays they would be comfortable selling Gildo at full price. But at least back in 2021, they were still a little hesitant. Now, Birder, really cool character. The fastest man allegedly in the universe. Now, the reason I ranked this at number 9 is just because they did not go the extra mile with Gildo. If you don't know, he's not really articulated. He has like 2 different change of arms, and that's basically it. I don't know why they couldn't give him a little bit more articulation, but I guess at least you could still do, their dancing pose. So that's something, but yeah, I don't know. If they were going to already go ahead and include Gildo here, why not just give him the articulation? Now we got to wait till they release a new one with actual articulation. So yeah, number 9, Birder Gildo. At number 8, another member of the Ginyu Force, we have Raccoon at $72. Look at this big hunk of plastic, dude. He's really buff. You can see all the different muscles. He's supposed to be a really strong guy. I love the box. I love that they put him in that pose specifically. Really funny, really reminiscent of the Namek saga. Now, the reason he ranks at number 8 is because not only is he a really cool figure that already comes with so much for him, he comes with a Dragon Ball, he comes with the Ginyu Frog, and he comes with an extra face for Ginyu. Now, you know me, I'm not really the biggest fan of the DLC stuff, but, I'm glad they included this with that because, they go together to complete the scene. So it's okay. I'll give them a pass for this one. At number 7, Biased, probably. If you haven't seen my review for this figure or my many times talking about it in my updates video, the first form Frieza with pod at $78 is just such a great figure. You know, iconic character. The first time we see Frieza in his first form, you could just tell this guy's gonna be special. He has so much charisma, so much personality, and I just really like the character. Frieza has become like the epitome of the Dragon Ball villain. Now, this one, they decided to include the pod, which he, is seen a lot with during his early appearances. So I'm glad they did that. He comes with a scouter. He comes with a little effect piece, a Dragon Ball, different, amazing, expressive faceplates. The articulation on this one is just so good. I could play with this one all day. And for that reason, it's at number 7. At number 6, we have Super Saiyan 4 Goku at the $65 price point. Now, Super Saiyan 4, honestly, my favorite Super Saiyan form of all. I mean, probably controversial take, but I just think if GT nailed something, it was adding this Super Saiyan 4 transformation to the series. I just love how wild and crazy the design is, but it works because it combines like what we have seen with the Super Saiyan as well as the Osaru. It's just crazy design choice. He comes with the red Kamehameha, which just looks great. A bunch of hands, a bunch of faceplates. You could recreate all the scenes from Dragon Ball GT. Just an amazing figure to own and to display. It looks amazing. And at number 5, we have the best San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for the year, which is Nappa. Now, at $70, does he include that much to warrant it? I don't know. I don't think so. But the character design of Nappa is just really iconic and really, nostalgic. I think Nappas in general are really hard to come by. Now, you're going to be paying a lot for resale. I'm talking like $130, $140, $150 because he's just iconic. Who doesn't reminisce about the beginning of Dragon Ball Z? I do. I reminisce about when Vegeta and Nappa showed up to Earth to attack the Sea Warriors and to take the Dragon Balls. Those were really fun times for me growing up, seeing that unfold on my screen. So for me to relive that in figure form, I really appreciate it. Always have loved the Nappa character design. So that's at number 5 for me. At number 4, very, very similarly, is Raditz. Now, the reason I put this one higher than Nappa is just because I think if Nappa's design is an 8, Raditz's design is a 9. I just love the really, really long hair. I love how he was revealed to be Goku's brother, which was crazy. The figure itself, amazing, very articulated. The Saiyan armor will always be iconic in my opinion. Everything about it is just crazy look. If you have it on your shelf, it draws your eyes to him because, it's just an amazing design overall. So that's why he's at 4. At number 3, we have the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku, $60. Now, this one is basically here based on, the price to plastic ratio. At $60, you got this amazing looking metallic-y, premium paint with the see-through hair Goku, and you get a very, very unique aura effect piece back here with the blue and the red. Now, those aura effect pieces go for $30 themselves. This one might go a little more because it's more unique. And then the figure, if you subtract 30 from 60, the figure, they're selling it to you for $30, which is even less than any retail figure you'll find. So, the price point is incredible. Props to you, Tamashi, for doing 60 on this one. And then the figure itself is amazing. So it's not like you're getting just bare bones stuff. You're getting a really, really great action figure to go along with the price. So just got to applaud them for that one. Really hope they do more things like that in the future. At number 2, again, I might be biased, but Tien is one of my favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball. I just love his tenacity. This guy never slows down. He's always training. Even people like Krillin, who's considered the strongest human, he slowed down. Tien never did. He always keeps training. He always keeps trying to improve himself. Those 2 times where he came to the aid of people, even though he knew he was outclassed against Cell, against Boo, he still did it because he knows what's right and he will defend his friends and Earth to the very end. Now, the figure, very iconic, is just like the perfect Tien figure in my opinion. And the fact that they threw in an articulated Shatsu, just cherry on top. This one, I wish it was cheaper so that many other people could own it. But now you're basically looking at a $140, $150 resale. So that's unfortunate. But if you could get your hands on this one, I really recommend it. And at number 1, the best figure, in my opinion, that was released in 2021 has to be Cooler Final Form at $80. I think this is not a controversial take. I think this is actually a very popular take. Whenever you see lists of the best Dragon Ball S.H. Figuarts released in the entire line, Cooler Final Form is always up there in the top 10, if not the number 1 spot. The articulation is crazy on this one. The shelf presence, top notch. The accessories it comes with, the different array of hands and faces and heads. It's just everything you could ever want from a Cooler, which is kind of crazy to say because he's not that important of a character. But the fact that they decided to go all out with the figure, I gotta give it to you, Tamashi. You do a really, really great job with these obscure characters, and I just gotta hand it to you. But anyways, that's gonna be my list. If you disagree with my list, feel free to leave your own rankings in the comment section. Just want to give a special thanks to the members of the DBZSHFIGS Club. We have Blue Fires, Owen, and Burgos LJ. Really appreciate you guys supporting the channel and the website. If you want to join the club, make sure you do so. Link in the description. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, just know that I really appreciate you and I hope you have a nice rest of your day.